coming to y'all live and direct. I just wanted to stop through, man. I know it's a new platform for everybody, so I'm going to be here. I'm going to be Instagram. I'm going to be on Facebook. But I want individuals to understand that guys like Alpo, man, they should be accepted in the community. The reason why they shouldn't be accepted in the community is you have to understand that these individuals were put in prison for a crime that probably would have caused a lot of them death row. Some of them, would have been in jail for a lot longer. I mean, a lot longer. They probably would get life in prison. But because of the things that they've done wrong, the government excuses them because of them telling on individuals. It doesn't make sense to me. The reason why it doesn't make sense to me is because it's recycling crime. How can an individual be a part of the streets, right? And then all of a sudden, as soon as he get arrested, he tells on everything that he knows, that his friends, that his people that are around him, everything that they do, he tells on. I can't understand that because the rule is broken and everyone goes to jail. So how is it an illegal life? It's not an illegal life anymore. What has happened is the government has made these individuals legal. And it's people like Alpo that's coming home from prison that's going to destroy our community because it's a little boy that's watching it somewhere. It's a child that's looking at it like, oh my goodness, this guy used to wear robes. This guy used to have sex with a lot of different women. This guy had all the brand new cars. And this guy was the one putting the murders down. So in the streets, actually, they'll start embracing that, our youth will, because they don't have no guidance out here as it is. So what ends up happening is they grab a hold of that. And what ends up in our community, we have informants from around the world just coming to one spot, and they make their spot their comfort zone. And everyone follows these individuals. These individuals are looked at as somebodies. How can a person be looked at as somebody when what did Alpo, he confessed, what did he say he done? He said he killed Rich Porter all about some pennies. Now, I'm not really up on how much money these guys really, making, but I mean, you kill your friend about a penny because he lied. It was better for you just to deny that friend and not even deal with him. I'm Kingearner from the Honor Your Life campaign. We must begin to attack these individuals right here on these platforms. We must let the city council and our community understand that we don't want them in our community. We don't want our children dragged by their negativity. Their negativity is come along, sell as much coke as you want, kill as many people as you want, and when you get in front of the government, you tell on everybody. Actually, you tell on everybody that you brought to the table to do crime with you. Now, that's mind-boggling to me. How can you be an individual, right, who starts an empire or who's one of the forerunners of the empire, and you're able to give the government information on the individuals that you gave the drugs to? You're the one that coerced them. You're the one that was the leader. But yet you're the only one that do 2-3 years in a camp somewhere. Now you have guys like Alpo running around, and you have brothers like Cameron, right? Now I got to keep it a buck. I really was honoring Cameron and certain things that he had going on. I respected his movement and how, it was a struggle, but he still grind to the top and made it look easy. But when you get on social media and say you have no opinion on Alpo, you make yourself look bad. Think about it. You went live on television. If I'm not, mistaken, it might have been 60 Minutes or something like that. It said how you wouldn't live next door to a rat, but you would live next door to a serial killer. Now, what kind of individual are you? You make me look at you funny because you make me feel like if something did happen with you guys and the feds came in, you would just give up tape on anything that you knew. And it doesn't matter if it's something that's true. You seem like the individual that is afraid to really go in on an individual that's not cool. I'm giving y'all this understanding. The streets isn't cool anymore. It has no honor in them. The jail cells, the prisons, not cool no more. But more than anything, being in the streets, catching your case and not accepting your own responsibility, going to trial by yourself, or pleading out and just saying, I am guilty, whatever the case may be. You aren't that man anymore to me when you go ahead and you turn informant. You are the worst individual, and they're making the lifestyle legal now. Because these confidential informants are allowed to go downtown and do what? Get on the payroll. And this is where we're losing at, because I can say something to a young, yo, don't sell drugs, don't do this, don't run around being this negative individual. But at the end of the day, what if I don't have no money to put in that child's pocket? That child has to go to these wolves like Alpo somewhere. These wolves that got kitten hearts. You see? That's what I call him. He's an individual that's a wolf with a kitten heart. His heart doesn't have the ability to be a man. You see, if he was a man, he would have took his. If he was a man, he wouldn't have done what he done to Wayne Perry. If he was a man, he'd still be in that cell doing the rest of his life in there. Because that's what men do. We own up to our own responsibilities. If I go to trial and I lose, I lose. But my goal wasn't to point at other individuals, because now I'm in a jam. And that's what we're missing. And this is why everybody's holding Alpo hand up like he's the people's champ, when he's the people's chump. And the individuals that surrounding him, anybody that co-sign that, any of you rappers, man, that say, man, I ain't got nothing to say about that, and that's his business. I hear all that, but man, own up to who you are. Own up to who you are. I'm owning up to honor. I'm the restorer of honor. I speak pure honor. So if you want to ever get with me, whoever, all you got to do is hit my line, man. Stay focused, youngins. Stay away from the negativity. And more than anything, don't let nobody influence you to do nothing negative. Kingearner live and direct.